Hi! Kamusta, Mitch?
Hi, Marilag. Doing
Kamusta ka
so good.
today? Yes, welcome to the very first community event for ulap.org. Para po sa mga nanonood, magandang gabi po sa Pilipinas, magandang hapon dito sa Denmark, or magandang tanghali, at magandang gabi sa mga manonood siguro ng recording. Ako si Marilag de Matulak. I'm one of the co-founders of ulap.org, and here with me is Miss Michelle Taberao. Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Marilag. I'm really happy na this is our first community event. And yeah, I'm Michelle, also one of the co-founder of ulap.org. So we're really looking forward to the topics that we're going to give to our audience today.
Yeah, so today is all about careers in tech and the ulap.org scholarship program. So maybe, Mitch, we can start with going through our agenda for today and set up the expectations for our audience. So,
Yeah.
yes, so for
So welcome everyone. So would you like to add, Marilag?
no, go ahead. Let's just walk them through our agenda.
Yeah, our agenda for today is, of course, the careers in tech. So we have some panel discussions, very informal siya. Tapos may tatlo tayong guest na nakikita nyo ngayon sa screen. Si Renz, si Jonah, and si Dion. So really looking forward. Then we have second part of the of our program, which is more kind of like us discussing about the ulap.org Cloud Career Kickstarter program. And of course, we have some Q&A sessions. So just go to our Facebook and YouTube live session. You can just comment there, and then we're going to see your questions there. And we'll try to answer as much as we can, depending on the time.
Yes. And so I just want to remind everyone that this session is also recorded. So you can always watch it sa ulap.org YouTube channel, or if you visit our Facebook group and Facebook page, nandun din siya. Or maybe you can also join our meetup group. So just look for ulap.org on meetup para mapanood nyo rin. So sana sa mga nanonood, ma-share nyo din sa community, sa mga friends nyo, especially dun sa mga interested na magkaroon ng career sa tech at saka sa cloud particularly. Very excited na ako invite yung mga guests natin, Mitch, para mapag-usapan na natin, mapagkwentuhan na natin ano ba talaga yung cloud at saka ano ba talaga yung ibig sabihin na magkaroon ng career sa cloud. So let's invite our friends, some friends,
Hi,
Dion, and
Renz.
Jonah.
Hi, Tion.
Hi.
Hi, Jonah.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marilag, Michelle, Renz, Dion. Nice to meet
Hi,
you
Anna. Nice to
live
meet you too.
today.
Yes, hello. So, ang mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon is siyempre yung career nyo sa tech at saka yung mga challenges nyo at saka siyempre yung mga advice na pwede nyo mabigay dun sa mga bata or mga estudyante na nag-iisip na magkaroon din or mag-start din ng career nila sa cloud computing or data or development or in cloud engineering. Pero bago tayo pumunta dun sa topic about sa career, siguro maganda mapagkwentuhan muna natin, ano ba talaga yung cloud? Kasi siguro minsan nakakalimutan natin pag tayo nagkakwentuhan, parang very normal na sa atin na cloud computing. Pero kapag kataling tinanong natin, ako may anak akong 2 teenagers. So minsan natanong ko sa kanila, alam niyo ba kung ano yung cloud computing? Yeah, yes, alam naman namin. Pero hindi pa rin siguro ganun kalawak yung knowledge ng mga estudyante, lalo na kung nagsisimula pa lang sila with their IT education. About ano ba talaga yung cloud? Siguro, konting kwento lang. Mabilis lang na kwento on my side. Siguro para ma-explain natin in a very simple way kung ano ba si cloud at bakit naghahanap tayo ng career at saka ng mga experts and cloud engineers. Okay, let me just begin. So, ano ba itsura ng computer dati? Well, hindi na ako babalik dun sa sobrang tagal na. Yun lang sa naabutan ko nung bata ako. So, dati kapag tiningnan natin yung computer, at saka pag inisip natin files, data, nasan ba talaga sila? Siyempre, alam naman natin lahat yung itsura ng malaking computer. Pero parang at that time, lahat tong information na meron tayo sa computer, nakalagay sa isang maliit na diskette. So, yung mga files natin, yung mga pictures natin, and by the way, isang picture lang ang kasya sa isang diskette at that time. At saka kung meron naman tayong mga, software na ini-install, kailangan natin ilagay itong diskette na dun sa loob ng computer bago mag-run yung application. Um, well, at that time, okay naman siya, gumagana naman siya, pero it's not enough. Habang lumalaki yung pangangailangan natin with the computers, mas nagiging advanced yung kailangan nating i-compute or gawin. So, hindi na siya nagiging enough. So, naisip natin, una sa lahat, paano ba natin papalakihin yung scope ng computer? Like, paano dadami yung masisave natin na files? At the same time, paano ba mag-uusap yung dalawang computer natin? Kasi yun yung problema, right? So, halimbawa, meron tayong sinave sa isang computer, kailangan natin ibigay dun sa kaibigan natin or sa boss natin, bibigyan natin yung diskette. So, ang nangyari is nakaisip tayo ng paraan para kumbaga, i-connect yung mga computers via the network. So, ito yung itsura dati ng mga network. So, peer-to-peer pa siya. May mga cables ka na nagra-run para madikit niya isang computer na ta-transfer mo yung data. So, kapag meron kang application na nagra-run sa isa, mababasa din or makikita din nung kabilang computer yung nangyayari. So, medyo napadali yung buhay natin ng konti, pero hindi pa din siya enough. Kasi again, dumadami tayo, lumalaki yung needs natin, kailangan natin ng mas malaki pa, at saka ng mga mas maraming computers, at saka mas maraming connections network, at kailangan na nating makonect yung mga computers sa iba't ibang bansa. Hindi lang yung sa loob ng office natin or hindi lang dun sa loob ng bahay natin. Kailangan makakonect din tayo dun sa mga computers sa iba't ibang lugar. So, habang nagpa-progress tayo with our needs, with computing, so we needed a bigger, more powerful computing capability. So, nauso yung mga servers. So, nagtayo tayo ng mga servers. So, yung mga nakikita nyo dito, puro mga computers yan, walang monitor kasi tayo mga bata, pag sinabi natin computer, lagi may monitor. So, kailangan natin maraming computers para sabay-sabay silang nang gumagana para na gagawa nila yung kailangan natin i-compute, kailangan natin i-process na data. But at the same time, itong mga servers na to, kanya-kanya tayong mga set of servers. So yung mga company, meron silang sariling data center kung nasan yung lahat ng mga servers nila para ma-process yung data nila, tsaka yung mga business process nila or yung applications nila. Tapos yung ibang company, meron din silang sarili. Meron namang mga company na parang pinapahiram nila yung data centers nila, pero hindi pa din siya enough. Kailangan pa rin natin ng bigger, even bigger, more powerful computer. So, dun pumasok si cloud computing, which is ito na itsura ng mga bagong data centers. So, marami tayong mga players na major na mga cloud computing vendors. Andyan si Amazon, andyan si Google, andyan si Microsoft Azure, andyan si Alibaba. Meron pang mga iba, pero yung apat na yun is right now, is sila yung parang may-ari or nagpapadakbo ng lahat ng mga data centers na you will find all over the world para ma-process nila yung data at saka yung computing needs ng iba't ibang both private, public, and even government organizations. So, that's cloud computing. So, sa dami ng pwede nating magawa dito sa malaking computers or data centers na to, kailangan natin ng maraming skills para ma-maximize natin yung purpose nila. At marami tayong kailangan ma-solve na problem sa mundo that we can solve with computing and with digitalization. So, yun yung pag-usapan natin. So, hopefully, medyo naging clear sa atin.
Ang ganda-ganda ng explanation mo
Yeah.
doon, Marilag. Kasi lahat nagtatanong, di ba, ano nga ba yung cloud computing? Bakit ang dami-daming taong naghahanap ng mga cloud engineer? Tapos yung evolution ngayon ng mga skills na kailangan i-upskill natin. Minsan nagtatanong sila yung mga naririnig natin ng mga machine learning, AI, data science, yung mga big words na yon. At the end of the day, we need to make sure na dapat meron tayong compute power na para gumana sila. Kasi kailangan natin
Yes.
maging scalable, kailangan natin maging flexible, tapos as much as possible yung maintainability talaga ng mga applications natin at saka yung infrastructures natin. Talagang nako-cover talaga siya ng mga technology na dapat na kailangan natin. So yun, dumating yung cloud computing at masayang-masaya kami kasi may mga practitioners tayo, mga professionals na in-invite today na nagwo-work at nagtatrabaho sa iba-ibang cloud computing services na 'to. So, andito si Jonah, she is specialized nga sa Microsoft Azure, si Dion naman is specialized sa AWS, while si, Renz naman ay nag-specialize naman sa Google Cloud at, other open source na mga tools natin. So, ayun, nandito sila para mag-share ng careers nila, ano ba yung ginagawa nila sa araw-araw, paano ba sila natututo, ano ba yung advice nila sa mga nakikinig sa'tin at mga future scholars natin. And actually, it's a good news that Jonah, Dion, and Renz, they signed up as our mentors. So, eto yung mga mentor natin sa ulap.org that our future scholars will be meeting and you're in good hands. So, yun, let's start. Maybe si Jonah muna magpakilala, tapos paano pa nag-evolve yung yung career mo dito sa tech?
Yeah. Hi. Hi everyone. Kumusta kayo dyan lahat sa Pilipinas? And I'm very glad and honored to be here. Thank you Marilag and Michelle for inviting me for this career talks events in cloud. So yung career ko sa cloud actually started sa Pilipinas kasi meron akong interest to work with computers, and when I was studying computer science sa Pilipinas, it was back then when I went to school at gumagamit din ako. It was a very good explanation yung floppy disk na sinabi ni Marilag na one 3.5 floppy disk is just one picture. Kasi I remember dati tube computers pa yung ginagamit ko. Tapos I was fascinated talaga sa advantages and ano yung magagawa ng technology sa community natin in the Philippines, in the entire world. And gusto kong maging part ng part ng changes and transformation na yun. So doon na yung nag-start yung interest ko in computer science at saka cloud computing. So nung lumipat ako dito sa Sweden since 10 years ago, gusto ko talagang mag-career in tech. So nag-study ako ng programming for 3 to 4 years. I program C# and .NET, and I'm also interested in Microsoft Azure, specifically kasi Microsoft.NET siya. So in my daily work, I do both programming front end, meaning nagkreate ng graphical user interface na nakikita nyo sa screen. Tapos yung code or programming code behind the buttons that you see. So, and aside from that application, part of my job is to move or to publish that application to the cloud. And one of the cloud providers, public cloud providers that Marilag mentioned as an example is Microsoft Azure. So my specialization is programming and software development to Microsoft Azure. So yun yung and briefly yung about me and what I do and a bit of my story. Thank you. Salamat.
Salamat, Jonah. Thank you very much. I'm actually very lucky to meet Jonah. I think through one of your colleagues
Colleagues,
before.
yeah, oo.
Yeah.
Oo.
So you reached out kasi may nabanggit sila na merong Filipina na
Oh,
nag-speaker
tama.
sa isang conference, and then nag-connect kami sa Twitter. And then from there, nag-start na, and then I invited Jonah din na mag-join sa mga ibang tech conferences so she can also share her knowledge, and she's been really a blessing to the community doing all these things, spreading knowledge. So thank you again, Jonah, for joining.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
Thank you.
What about Renz? Ikaw naman.
Right. Hello everyone. Thank you po no for inviting me here. Um yeah, I started my career, so I graduated 2016. So I started my career with ano po with I started as a support guy. So we're supporting various servers for a specific vendor. And then afterwards, after I hit some natanggal po kami during that time, and I have to transition to a different company. And din ko po nakuha kumbaga yung mga foundational skills that was related to Windows, to Linux, or yeah, and even networking. No? So then afterwards, 2018, was able to 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 be hired, no, na related to cloud, which is Google Cloud. So on my career, I serve as a QA and even as an SME for Google Cloud. Um, yeah, yun lang. I'm still working as I specialize in networking and infrastructure, and I also have a little bit of knowledge on containerization and Kubernetes microservices. Um, yeah, siguro one highlight of my career, or yung thankful ako na part ng career ko, is I was able to get yung experience ko, no, before I get to a cloud role. Kasi those complementary skills made my cloud journey easier. So yeah,
Thank you very
Thank you,
much, Ren.
Renz.
thank you po.
At nag-echo, Marilang.
Sabay na sabay tayo dyan, di ba?
Oo.
Para
Same
nag-synchronized
timing.
tayo. Ganyan kami ka-thankful. Sabay na sabay kami mag-thank you. Pero yeah, very interesting rin. Siguro, marami pa akong tanong a little bit later tungkol sa mga career niyo. Pero let's move on with Dion.
Ay, nung pinakita mo yung floppy disk, I think inisip ko how far ano back kung kailan ako na-introduce sa sa industry. Uh, I was just nung bata ko, I was always in front of a computer. So, and then I think one time I was just editing HTML without knowing what they are. So, di ko alam kung ano yun, but it looks good and I can show things in front of another person screen across another across the ocean. So, or may pakita kong something in front of a browser, on a browser sa friends ko. And I think that was my initial introduction. And then I also get introduced to through my brother. He's running one of the top partners for he owns a website called Page Registrar na nagbebenta ng hostings and domains, that page domains. I think that was a really another introduction for me until siya rin ang nag-enroll sa akin sa IT school. And habang nasa school ako, I figure out ito yung ginagawa ko no high school ako ha. So yun, and then fast forward, I I focused on web development technologies, web development mostly, and then naging front end and then back end eventually, and then moved to Denmark. It's a long story, but I think it has its own uh, time. I don't want to go. I think Mitch has gone through my entire story. Uh, but as for an introduction, I think it's just I think I'm always interested with technologies and working with them, and the same with uh, jumping into cloud technology. It was one of my previous employer had just had necessity of in-housing their development, and including that was infrastructure migration. So that's I think that was my introduction to it, and I was always the person who's gusto kong matutunan. So I always wanted to jump into things, and then fast forward again at my current job for more than a year. Um, it's because meron akong previous experience, then they put me on a really on a small team dun sa larger team namin of 11 people on managing our cloud infrastructure. And um, yeah, I don't even have certifications or anything like that for AWS, pero I had I have a very good enough, knowledge of the entire. I mean, I've been a developer, so I know what happens in the servers, and I know what happens in the infrastructure. So I think, yeah, I'm always thirsty for technologies, and keeping myself up to date. So I think that's a little bit of my background.
Thank you very much, Dion. Good to hear yung story mo, pero natuwa talaga yung story mo sa with the backpack lang.
Oh yeah.
Saan ka nakatering. Yeah. Pero I think kung may isa akong na-notice sa lahat ng mga stories natin. Oh, by the way, I'm also, I also work in tech. So I'm also a programmer, developer. And then same thing, yung interest ko rin nag-start siguro elementary nung bumili yung tatay at nanay ko ng computer sa bahay. Tapos bawal ko siyang hawakan kasi para lang siya sa kuya ko, kasi para sa school ng kuya ko. So ako, hindi ko pwede siyang galawin kasi baka masira ko and all. So ang ginagawa ko, pag wala yung kuya ko, at saka tulog yung parents ko, tumatakas ako para paglaruan siya. Tapos na-discover ko lahat, natutunan ko lahat ng wala namang books, walang, just because, I try to click around. Hindi naman siya nasira, or I don't think na nasira ako siya. Kasi, pero naging curious talaga ako. So, I'm not sure. I think si Mitch is the same. Yung story din niya is dinadala siya nung tatay niya, right, Mitch, sa town para makita yung, para makagamit ng mga computers. So kung merong isang parang common sa experience natin, bata pa lang, parang na-spark na yung curiosity. Meron talaga mararamdaman mo yun sa loob mo. Yung interest na, ano bang pwedeng magawa dito with this technology, with computer. At the same time, what can it do for me? What can I do with it, and what can it do for me? But ang nagiging issue is, which we are trying to, of course, talk about or address in Ulap, is along the way, I'm sure marami sa atin yung may interest. But along the way, nawawala yung interest, or hindi ma-fulfill kahit na meron tayong interest, yung circumstances natin, yung background natin, sort of makes it more challenging to pursue that interest. So let's talk a little bit about kung ano yung nung especially yung naging challenge niyo, especially nung around the time na nasa college kayo and graduating and thinking about joining the workforce. Ano yung parang pinaka naging challenge niyo with your circumstances, and paano niyo siya na beat?
I have a story about that, inspiring story. Kasi, actually, nung bata pa ako, I really want to be different. Gusto kong, like, I want to do a job na parang, di ba sa Pilipinas, common sa atin na if babae ka, you have to work in the office, pero, or you can work as a nurse. But for me, yung bata pa ako, gusto ko talagang maging different. So I wanted to be an engineer, civil engineer. Pero when my parents were like not not so rich, like we're just a middle class, and my parents could not afford me to take the civil engineering course. Pero I noticed na merong ibang course like computer science na interesting to me. At that time, kakaka-start lang ng internet, like in the year 1990s. So, I really want to go to school and study more about computers. Pero yung parents ko, they couldn't afford it. You know, sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Hindi libre ang going to college. What I did, challenge. It was sad. I took the initiative na mag-take ng scholarship exam sa high school ko. Tapos, I was one of the 100 students in my region that were able to get a scholarship. And I was really glad and happy to be able to have computer science course, and that was the beginning and the start of my career. So my challenge there was tough, because if I just let it go, then that means maybe I'm not a software engineer or cloud developer right now, pero I overcome that challenge by not giving up and finding ways as well, like the scholarship. Without that scholarship that I got for computer science, as a stepping stone for my career now, I don't think I would be working or reaching where I am right now. So that's my challenge that I overcome by not giving up. So yung story ko na I would like to share sa watchers and viewers natin.
Wow, thank you, Jonah. And I'm pretty sure na you used 30 seconds para ikwento yung challenge mo na yon. Pero I can imagine at that time, it felt so much longer. Parang wala nang katapusan ang
Tama.
challenge. Pero yeah, ang dali ikwento eh. Pero kapag babalikan natin, mahirap siya. Pero kapag nalampasan mo na siya, isang maganda na lang siyang alaala. So, okay, give up.
Oo.
Thank you, Jonah, for that advice.
You're
How about you,
welcome.
Renz? Meron ka bang challenge nung bata-bata ka? Bata ka pa naman, sorry. You're still young. When you were younger.
Yeah, I almost have a similar story po no, with Miss Jonah. Way back in high school, I I can remember na I used to fail classes, my computer classes. Not totally fail, but usually in grade school is line of 7. Ganun. So, I got into information technology, computer engineering to be exact po, no. Kasi my parents want me to take up engineering and tingin ko yun po yung madaling course pagdating sa engineering realm. So I took it and then I'm super scared way back on college and before I graduated kasi I don't know if I'm gonna be if I'm gonna kumbaga mag-succeed po on this role, no. But along the way, nawawala po yung takot and usually you get to love kung ano yung nandyan na, no. So ayun, I build up yung love for learning kasi information technology is really it's a big thing, no. It's a ever changing field, no. So siguro that's what kumbaga yun po yung uh, yun yung nagpo-push sa akin to strive more, no. So yun yung mga naging challenges ko po and before I enter the professional field, ayun, meron din po akong questions around ano ba yung dapat kong specialty? Should I take up software development or should I go with networking? But then again, kung ano po yung opportunity na serve sa akin, it all works out in the end and I think I will be in the cloud industry for a long time. Cloud security to be exact.
Oh,
Yun lang po.
that's really good to hear. Yeah, but I can completely relate, and I'm sure there are a lot of kids here that can relate with this, self-confidence, especially pag narinig nila, oh, computers. I found out sa school nung kids ko before na pag sinabing join ka sa IT club, o yung mga matatalino lang yan, yung mga magagaling lang sa math yan, yung mga nasa computers lang lagi, it's really not true. Minsan, siguro, circumstances din kung hindi man tayo yung nakakakuha ng top grades, pero it doesn't determine your future right away. You can always strive. And sabi nga ni Renz, you always learn, especially sa technology. Lahat tayo bata, lahat tayo newcomer. Kahit matagal ka na sa industry, dahil may bago pa siya, halos kasi minsan parehas lang yung knowledge mo dun sa mga estudyante or sa mga bagong graduate. Kasi lahat tayo nagsisimula sa bagong journey every now and then. So, yun. I guess, Renz, thank you sa advice. Huwag ka okay lang matakot. That's normal. Pero don't let
Yes.
fear stop you from doing what you want or keeping that interest alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
knew
really,
Renz
yeah.
since ano nga, college. He's very silent guy. I used to have to joke him like, Renz, magsalita ka naman. Ano comment mo? Ganon. Kasi lahat na magsasalita sa group si Renz nandun lang, nakatingin lang, tas very reserved. And I'm really happy how you turn out to be very open and try to share your knowledge. It's really amazing growth that you have had in the past years. So I'm really happy for you.
Pareha pala kami ni Renz na mahiyain nung bata pa. And now that we want to make a difference in tech, we're like getting out of our shyness and dare like be a role model and share these interesting stories to everyone and to those who are watching. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the passion that we have for tech and learning really inspires us to share it more to others and to our community, our group, this meeting, for example. So very inspired by your story, Renz, as well.
Yeah. And then also 'yan yung marami talagang, to be honest, experience mahiyain sa IT industry. Kahit yung mga matagal na dun, siguro karamihan, yun nga mga quiet, pero that's also strength kasi mas introspective ka. So it doesn't mean na, kapagka hindi ka, outspoken masyado, that's also okay. That's just, just be you. Pero yun nga, when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone, sharing your knowledge, it helps both ways. So, yes. What about you, Dion?
Yeah.
Anong challenge natin nung nagsisimula ka pa lang?
Well, I think when nung nasa university ako, it's more about dun sa sa program ng school ko. I know I wanted to enter web development and web technologies. Yun yung gusto ko talaga. But yung program ng school ko is I mean, it's not that it's bad. Pero yung programs nila is more about desktop application developments. I think it was out of date. There was not a lot of opportunities to learn more into, I mean, to mag-focus sa web technologies, but I tried to push, but I think it goes to with our industry din kasi it's always a continuous learning, and also how gaano ka bilis mag-change ang trends ng technologies. We always need to catch up. So I think the importante sa akin na nangyari nung school ko, I think at least I get in depth with the fundamentals. So as long as alam mo yung how you can code in another language, you can easily transition to a new one. And that's what I did after my education. I applied for a junior web development, and that's how I really nag-focus talaga ako sa web development and read a lot about it and know about the current trends and what tech stack I need to learn by myself, and also and to get to yung job na gusto ko in the future, and it worked out fine. I think that's a tip I can really give to newcomers. It's going to be a challenging, but as long as you're really hungry for new technologies and learning new technologies, there's no limits.
I completely agree. There's really no limits. Yeah.
Yes,
Especially
I
dun sa
agree
mga
too.
bagay ngayon,
Yeah.
right? But sometimes you also feel like challenged na I cannot catch up anymore. Mas masyadong mabilis yung mga computers kesa sa brain power natin, right? Pero, if you can focus on one thing that you really like and that kind of kasi you cannot do everything sa tech. So important din na may guidance ka, especially kung nag-start ka pa lang. So you can figure out kung ano ba sa nagma-match yung skills mo with your interest, and at the same time the demand from you from the industry, and then of course your long-term vision, motivation, why are you doing this? Why are you in tech? Michelle, do you want to add more about challenges
I
in a cloud career?
I think for me, it just happened because I'm really parang talagang into IoT ako nung Internet of Things ako nung college ako. So yung thesis ko that time, IoT na parang ang ginagawa namin nung grupo namin, nire-remote access namin yung pag-monitor ng mga solar panels. Tapos, ayun, after 5 years, I got to work in an enterprise IoT project na parang ano bang tawag dito? um, Parang may remote access kami sa mga containers all around the globe na nagta-transport ng mga goods natin para ma-make sure na dadating yung mga goods natin sa mga doors natin at sa groceries na good condition. And it's very humbling to think na it all started with me getting curious about it, having some challenge on how I can study the technology and how to make use of it. And then now you get to work on it and have give like a huge impact na din sa supply chain part. So, yun yung mga examples na parang unang-una parang feeling mo challenging kasi parang ang hirap, tapos you try, and then you got to see na kaya mo palang gawin siya in a professional way. Yun, magiging full-time job mo pala siya. Parang nakakatuwa lang tingnan yung mga ganong scenarios. So, ayun, it starts with curiosity. Yun. So, yung challenge kailangan siyempre i-accept natin na gano'n talaga. Kailangan may tenacity, tapos yung perseverance laging nandiyan, tapos growth mindset, mag-aral lang lagi. Tapos ayun, mako-conquer mo naman, tapos another challenge will come. It will never end. So, para siyang loop. Ayun.
Yeah, para siyang loop. I
Um,
think siguro,
yeah.
yeah, for the last question kasi para siyang loop siguro, I don't wanna scare our audience na, "Oh my God, mag-aaral ako
Mhm.
for the rest of my life." Pero it is a reality. Pero let's talk about, what keeps us wanting to learn? Ano yung motivation, what makes us feel fulfilled? Kasi yung learning nagiging source of joy na natin siya, di ba? Why? What's in it in IT career that makes us happy enough that we want to keep on learning, hindi nagiging burdensome yung learning process. Ano yung ultimate, one thing, if there's one thing that makes you feel happy about your tech career, what is it? Renz, you want to start or?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, for me, siguro parang yung nagiging drive ko na to continue learning is yung kumbaga yung to share as well. Kumbaga yun po yung nagbibigay sa akin ng fulfillment right now, no, to learn and then share to the others. Kasi once you share to others, mas na master mo siya and you develop your skills more. And ayun, it just gives me confidence kapag alam ko yung mga bagay-bagay. Ayun po. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Renz. That's a very nice motivation.
Yeah,
Uh,
is it okay if I go next?
yeah,
Yeah, I really agree with Renz about learning and sharing, like sharing the knowledge, learning at the same time sharing it, because I've been doing that. And the more I learn about Microsoft Azure, the more I get inspired to share it because it makes me very interested in that. And aside from learning and sharing as one of my motivations, I also use my career in tech. My motivation is that I always think that yung ginagawa ko in my job, which I love, is something that makes an impact in the future and the future generation, because our life is like limited, diba? At least while I'm living in this world, I know that I could use my skills given to me, cloud skills and software development skills, to make an impact with my friends, my family, and the future generation. And that's what makes me motivated and driven to keep sharing, because it's very important to share the knowledge and you cannot keep it to yourself. So that makes me like passionate for it. So I hope everyone that's listening will be inspired as well to keep learning and keep sharing and make a difference.
Wow, yeah, that's
Yes.
really, really nice. I also really agree with you or resonate with you, Jonah, with this sharing your knowledge. And also, ultimately, kasi it's not only just about learning, right? We really need to, for me, I visualize it. We need to build an army to solve
Mm-hmm.
the most pressing problems in the world. We cannot do it. We're lacking skills, right? So the only way to do it is a scalable knowledge sharing process. Kailangan maganda. You can start with teaching one-on-one, but if you can target your audience para mas marami pa yung matuto, then we can build the world's next engineers, next scientists, next thinkers that can, you know, maybe solve our problems one
Agree.
one problem at a time, right?
Yes.
Dion, what about you? What's your
Yeah.
motivation?
Well, I think I share a lot of what Renz and Yona said, but I think for me especially, I learn a lot by sharing. I have a experience back in the days pag tuwing nagse-share ako or I teach someone how to do this and do that. I get so many interesting questions that I myself ano gusto ko rin malaman. So I think that's a short answer for me, but that also motivates me to learn more because when I learn new things and I start to be good at it, eventually I move on to more challenging things. Uh, yeah, and then I want
Good.
to challenge myself. Parang ano, pabalik-balik lang.
Kumbaga,
Cycle,
kumbaga sa gamer, kailangan nag-ano ka, level up ka
level
talaga
up.
eh.
Yeah,
Otherwise, maboboard ka dun sa game.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like Mitch. How about you? Do
I
you want to
think
add anything?
I think generally na-inspire lang ako sa kanila kasi, I can resonate in that the more we learn, the more we feel that we have a responsibility to share that to others. Especially sometimes, di ba, may mga imposter syndrome, we feel like we're not enough to share it to someone or to just open up na kaya ko tong i-impart din sa iba kasi you feel that you're not enough to do that. Pero actually, nung nagtrabaho ko sa open source community nga sa Pilipinas, na-realize ko na, hala, parang the more I share, the more people ask difficult and challenging question, the more I study, parang ganun. And it's just amazing na yun yung yun yung naging ano ko, baseline din bakit gusto kong mag-improve at mag-improve. Kasi parang may mabibigay pa ako. So,
Mhm.
para sa iba. So, ayun, I can fully resonate and you are all very, very inspiring and thank you very much for volunteering in ulap.org and that statement just made it sure na our future scholars are in good hands, so people who are very genuine and also just wanted to, share and impart knowledge.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us here. And I'm really looking forward to the next phase in this advocacy when we have our scholars already, when you start, yeah, the mentorship, and when we have the community events where you also get to share your deep technical knowledge this time, right? So ngayon, medyo nasa career tayo. I'm sure at some point, yung mga audience natin, they would also love to see what is it that we work with? How does it look like? Anong itsura ng desktop natin? Anong laman niya? What do we do every day? So we will get to that at some in some of the next community events. But thank you very much for joining us here on a Saturday, for spending your time with us. And yeah, I wish you good health
Thank you.
and
Thank
Thank
you
you.
more
so
power on
much.
your career, tech
Thank you
career.
po.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you po for inviting
Salamat.
me.
Salamat.
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 Bye.
Bye-bye.
Salamat
Bye-bye.
po. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye po.
So, for our next agenda, so medyo overtime tayo ng konti, but that's okay because that was a really, really great conversation with our mentors and with our speakers. And if you do have any questions for our mentors, feel free to post them here on the chat, or you can go to our Facebook page and write us there, and we will make sure that we answer your questions about career in tech. So for the next part of our show today, we will have a very short break lang. But before that, let's have some community updates. Michelle and I would like to share to you the next community days that we have. So today we have the career talks, and on May we're actually joining the Philippine Tech Week. So it is a 1 week event together with a lot of different tech communities all over the Philippines, and then they organized the first massive event focusing on careers and upskilling in tech. So we have a talk on May 22nd. I think we will
20,
announce that. Oh, 20, sorry. Yeah,
20.
20. Yeah, so May 20, we will have a talk. Mitch, do you want to go through the rest of the community days here?
Yeah, so the next month we will, of course, be having some cross cloud events on June, wherein we invite different professionals in different cloud community and cloud tech. And then on July, we will be focused on the AWS. And August, we will have an Alibaba cloud um, discussions and tech talks and demos. On September, we will have Microsoft Azure, and then on September, we will have a Google Cloud event. So just wanted to add there that this event is open for all. This is for free. And just don't forget to register in our Meetup group, and you'll receive all the information related to this event, and the information on how you can access to 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 this event, whether it's a live stream or a Zoom meeting. So yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see you in our events, and also just to remind everyone that these events are targeted towards, young people who aspire to have a career in tech. So it's very beginner friendly, but we would try to cover also some technical demos so that you can have a good feeling of what it's really like to work with this technology. Right.
Yeah, so it's
So
really, really open for professionals as well, or people, or just graduated and you just wanted to kick off your career in this path, right? So ito ay very introductory. So we hope that it will help you upskill yourself, and of course, join our community and get involved.
and share it to your friends or your classmates
Yes.
and your family. All right. I think we have maybe just 2-3 minutes break also for everyone, so you can go stretch, maybe grab a glass of water, milk, coffee, and then we will be back with the next segment where we're gonna explain yung process for the scholarship, and yeah, and then we will open for Q&A. So if you are interested, see you in a couple of minutes.
See you. Hi, Marilag. I think we cannot hear you. I thought
Hello.
I was the one. Yeah, I thought I was the one who has
Oh,
an issue with the my audio, so I was fixing it. Yeah,
sorry. Okay, then I'm
yeah,
gonna have to start from the very beginning. So thank you, Mitch,
yeah.
for pointing that
Okay.
out. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
okay, so I was just explaining that that you are going to walk us through in this segment on how to apply as a scholar for ulap.org and how to use our site and what are the requirements, and if our audience have some questions, they can live questions, they can post it sa chat, and then we will display it to screen, and then we will try to answer them live. But if you're just watching the recording, you can also contact us Facebook or our website. We have a contact form there. Or if you're not planning to apply, so you just want to ask some questions, please get in touch with us through our contact form on our website, which is www.ulap.org. Ang dami ko nasabi. I'm sorry. You know, some of these technical things. um,
Completely, because I usually have all
I'm
those technical
students.
problems. So
Yeah.
I thought it was me.
Yeah, I got a little distracted nung medyo ano lang, but you know, the beauty of live streaming. So I hope it's okay with everyone. So what I was going through before before ako nawala. So si Mitch, before siguro before namin na-explain kung ano ba talaga yung goal namin sa ULAP scholarship. So I think well known na naman na dalawa yung program natin, the scholarship and the community days. So ano yung goal natin sa scholarship? Bakit nagbibigay tayo ng scholarship for professional training and certification on different cloud tracks? So I want to explain a bit kasi kanina nabanggit din ni Dion, if you were watching the career talks, the first segment, nabanggit niya na he doesn't have a certification. So required ba siya? Required ba yung technical certification or cloud certification to be able to work within, you know, the cloud and data industry or in general as a tech? So the answer is no, of course not. Especially, ang importante talaga is your experience, your knowledge, continuous learning, right? Unlike in other careers like engineering or law or architecture, I think you need some certification before you can practice your skills or your chosen career. In tech, even if you're an undergrad or you did not have a bachelor or you did not even study tech, you can still have a career in tech. So that's a given. We all know that already. Pero why are we offering the certification track though? So before we answer that, let me just walk you through a little bit, very shortly, ano ba yung sinasabi na certification? Isa lang ba siya? Do we only need to get one certification? No. Again, hindi katulad sa mga ibang careers. Sa tech, depende siya. Sobrang dami. I cannot even enumerate all of them. But mostly, kanya-kanyang certification per technology that you work with, meaning yung vendor, area. And then, for example, sa cloud, na-mention ko earlier na merong four major, but there are also others, a lot other cloud provider, pero yung four majors, Microsoft, AWS, um, Alibaba and Google. And so in order to be certified, there's really kind of no certification for all these providers. You have to go to the specific provider and they have their own set of certifications, and they have their own set of certification for different roles. So it's what you call role-based certification. So kung ano ba yung parang gusto mong area to work in. So madami-dami din siya. Pero here you can see, for example, sa Microsoft, this is their track. Pero one thing you will notice is kahit na iba-ibang provider siya, very similar yung tracks nila. So you always start with what you call the fundamental. And you can get a certification that. So the fundamental is so you get a formal training for the fundamentals. So you learn the actual the actual purpose or yung fundamental information about that specific cloud technology, and it will equip you to kind of have a generalized knowledge about that technology. So you touch upon ano ba si cloud, you know, ano-ano yung mga services dun sa cloud, how can I start their work with the services. Pero hindi siya yung deep dive dun sa mga feature services. But meron din siya certification. So that's the same with Azure AWS also has some fundamentals, also Alibaba, and also Google has also some fundamentals. So ito yung parang pinaka-fit talaga kapag nagsisimula ka pa lang. You need the fundamentals. And why do you need certification? Well, it's not required. Again, it's not required, but it's nice to show, first of all, if you're looking for a job, now actually I've been through this training. And another thing is it makes you feel, more confident that you actually have the knowledge about this specific provider. And then I'm not gonna delve into the rest of the tracks, but siguro in summary, yun nga, role-based siya, and some of them requires that you take some of the exams first or two of them before you go to the next level. Hindi naman marami yung leveling. Normally up to 3 levels lang siya. So you can see here we have the fundamentals, then we have the some of the specialization, and sometimes dun sa mga parang pinaka-top tracks yung sa expertise na expert level na you have to pass two certifications before you get to that level, something like that. So progression siya. So if we look into AWS, almost the same. Ganun din siya. Merong foundational, associate, professional. And if we look at the Linux Foundation, there's also very specific certification there. So all in all, in summary, this is for Google, is what we're trying to offer is an opportunity for these students na to take the fundamental courses and at the same time, maybe the second level, which is an associate or some specialty. And do we need to offer scholarship? Because it actually costs money to do the actual training, whether it's virtual training, online training, or classroom-based training, na physical, which we don't have right now because of our current situation. It does cost money, and even if you're already working as a professional, minsan you don't even sometimes there are companies that don't offer this certification for free. Either you have to do it on your own and pay for it. If you're in a good company that also has a growth mindset, of course they paid for you. But of course, as a young professional who's just starting, it will be a very good for your career to already by now get this structured training, some mentorship, and a certification, hopefully. Yep, that is all about certification and the value of certification. But ultimately, what we want to do is to really raise confident students and graduates that are ready to join the tech workforce, especially the underrepresented ones, because they are the ones who are, have lesser opportunity. So, napag-usapan natin kanina, yung may spark, may interest, sila yung most likely na sway away from that interest because of the circumstances, and we really want to help them. So, Mitch, do you want to go ahead and explain our scholarship process?
Yeah, sure. So I think I'll like to request you, Mara, like if you can go to www.ulap.org. So yung sa scholarship nga namin, it started opening up the application since March, and we would like to encourage more and more of our students to be able to apply here. And as Marilag already gave a bit of an information and a background of certification, this is definitely a very, very helpful tool for the students to build network, to be mentored by people within the Ulap org community, as you've met 3 of them a while ago. And there are a lot more. um, Plus, of course, those professional trainings, actually. And I think one thing that I would like to highlight is that though some of them are really available online, you can pick it up, and cloud provider tries to make those information available online. What we have here in ulap.org is that you got to experience a real professional training, which is like, a real person that helps you grow in this via mentorship and via professional training. Let's just give, for example, the Azure Fundamentals, right? So you got to go to a 1-day training. Which is a certified person to train you, but at the same time, you got to experience the certifications itself. And now we are going to the www.ulap.org scholarship program. Ito yung magiging journey ng mga scholars. So yung first journey nga is that you got to be accepted. You got to be with the cohort 1 scholars. So yun nga yung magandang binibuild natin kasi makikilala mo yung mga iba-ibang students from different parts of the Philippines na nag-apply din. And together, you're gonna grow, and together, you're gonna share knowledge to each other. Plus those mentorship, plus those professional training that it really costs money, actually. So not all can actually have this all the time unless companies or you're willing to pay for yourself. So it costs money, plus the certification also costs money, and this is what we're trying to give to our scholars, that you're gonna have this for free, because ulap.org will gonna be supporting you. And of course, the first phase is for you to be able to get a badge, which is the ulap scholar, but also for you to be able to finish the fundamentals course of cloud computing. And then the second journey, of course, will be the ambassadorship. And that's the time when you have an access to our mentors. You get to ask some person, paano ba ako mag-evolve as a scholar? Gusto mo bang maging data engineer, machine learning engineer, data scientist? Though yung mga roles na yun talagang masyadong big siya. Hindi lang talaga siya cloud computing itself. Pero in this sense, you got to be introduced with how you can start looking at those opportunities through the cloud computing part of this in let's say positions na pwede kang mag-evolve in the future. Plus, plus, plus pa dun sa mga kailangan, kailangan mo pang maintindihan regarding the position, right? Pero ayun, may marami kasing mga positions ngayon sa cloud computing na pwede mo nang ma-start. Kung hari mo gusto mo maging cloud engineer, like focusing on network, like Renz a while ago, or a programmer itself, like Jonah. Same with Kuya Dion in the development for AWS. That will be taught dun sa mga modules na meron tayo dito sa second phase ng journey nga. Kasi you can choose those specialization that you want, and you got to get an access to those tools, and you get to have a professional training and a mentorship at the same time. And then, yeah, at the end of the journey, we're expecting that you're gonna get certification nga dun sa both fundamentals and the specialty. And then afterwards, the third journey is that we hope that you can also volunteer in this organization, and then you can help the future scholars grow as well. And you will for sure, and the future scholar will for sure be a success story. And I hope you'll bring this to your professional career in the future. It will help you find the job that you would like to be working on in the future nga pag you started you graduated and started working na, or even internship opportunities. Then you can also look at cloud focused internship opportunities. So ayun yung journey ng scholar namin. Gusto namin siyang maging holistic, gusto namin siya na supported through a community and supported ng mga known certifications ng mga companies. And if you scroll down below, you will see more nga kung ano yung mga requirements namin. And then below button is also, if you click, then how you can apply. So ito yung background. Actually, ito yung lagi naming naririnig sa mga tanong ng mga applicants. Kailangan ba may background na kami sa ganto, ganyan, you know, actually hindi. Hindi mo kailangan may background ka na ng cloud computing at alam mo na lahat tungkol doon. I mean, you can watch videos, you might be curious, I mean, that should be enough, but we're not excluding those people na hindi pa expert. 'Di ba? Parang we got to get you as our scholar, and it's our responsibility that we make sure that we guide you and grow to this career track. So, ayun, Filipino dapat, of course, and then at least second year college student. We received a question last time kung pwede bang mag-apply yung mga first year. So, one thing that I would like to highlight is magsisimula na ulit yung school year. So as long as second year ka, upcoming second year student ka, and you got to show that magiging registered ka bilang upcoming second year student, that should be enough. Tapos, of course, it's open for third year, fourth year, and I don't know if other courses still have fifth year, but yeah, it's open for from second year up. At saka yun, ito yung pinaka-importante actually ng mga characteristics ng scholar ng hinahanap namin actually yung dedication talaga at saka yung passion. Kasi kami, nagwo-work na kami ngayon sa IT world, alam namin ng technology laging nagbabago. Pero yung hindi nawawala na characteristic ng isang tao ay yung growth mindset, yung curiosity. Hanggang sa nare-retain natin yun, kayang-kaya natin na maka-relate sa kung anong technology man yan. Siguro yung technology ngayon na ina-explain namin, magiging obsolete na siya in X number of years. Pero yung curiosity mo at saka yung growth mindset mo, that will take you through time. At ayun, yun yung hinahanap namin talagang, it's a lot of hard work and perseverance and commitment. Kasi nga siyempre yung goal namin is just to make sure that you gain confidence and you gain network and you gain those knowledge that can help you in your professional journey. And yung application process, may mga steps kami. You have to submit your application online. We are reviewing that, and the application online contains your motivation letter, your resume, um, yung mga reference letter, yung grade mo and all. May mga na-receive kaming question about grades. Kailangan po ba super taas ng grades and all? We're not excluding our applicants. Just apply as long as you're registered currently. Just please do apply. Um, ano pa ba yung maraming question na natanong namin? Reference letter, one reference letter is enough. Motivation letter is very important. Yun, dun kasi namin nakakita yung puso ng taong nag apply sa amin. How is it? And, paano nagre-resonate sa kanila yung scholarship program and their growth. Ayun. And then, ayun yung process namin step 2. And I think Marilag is showcasing how you can apply in our form. So marami siyang steps and then you have to attach a lot of documents na din. And you have to really prepare for those documents na that we have. Ayan. And it's also very important for us na to get your certificate of indigency kasi alam nyo naman na we are ULAP, Underrepresented Youth Learning Assistance Program. So we would really like to support those people na in need of this. Either your family really has a low income, or you cannot really just do it by yourself if you wanted to certify. And ULAP is very, very much happy to help you on that. Ayun, it's a very, very good process that you showcase, Mara, like step by step. And then once we reviewed all those requirements that we have, then you will be invited to send us a video of yourself. So we're gonna send some questions, and then you'll need to have a video of yourself to explain nga, the answers to our questions. Of course, I'm not gonna say it in this, but those successful applicants will receive the question soon, and we hope that you get to take your time and make sure that everything is fine at walang mga technical difficulties like I'm having today. And then afterwards, we're gonna meet you for an interview with our community, and gonna of course ask you some questions, but we make sure that you're very comfortable in this, and then we're gonna sign a contract with us. So how the journey is of course, meron kaming mga dates and the timeline here, but meron kaming complete announcement from Marilag today. Would you like to announce the application process um,
All right.
for
So
us
our
and the
surprise for
timeline?
this, yes. So we have decided to extend our scholarship application until the end of June. So we understand because of the current situations in the whole world that maybe it's challenging for us to reach out to more people or for the candidates to reach us. So we're extending our deadline to June 30, right, Mitch? And then from there,
Yes.
we will have the evaluation process and we will announce when will be the start of the first career Kickstarter journey for the fundamentals training after our evaluation period. So the most important day is June 30. So please do take that into consideration and share it to your friends and to anyone interested na we have time. We still have time. You can still gather all the documents that you need and then to write your motivation letter until the end of June.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we are in a lockdown, and we understand that maybe some people might really even have a difficulty to like get those certificate of indigency and all other things. So we are considering those, and yeah, yun yung timeline. And then, as you can see, our timeline for the students once they get the scholarship is a 1 year for them to get the certifications and the specialty. But of course, we also understand na yung mga students, you're currently undergoing, of course, your separate student life, 'di ba? Ito yung parang magiging extracurricular activity mo. So we are very, very open. We receive also a question about this. We're very, very open to talk about how you want this to go, your journey. Will it take you more than a year? Will it take you 6 months? You know, this is like the discussions that we can do once you get accepted in the scholarship. So we're just very, very excited to share this to others, but also to learn from our students that we will be that will be our future scholars nga.
thank
Ayun.
you very much for that, Mitch. I think we're open for questions now. So if you have some questions, please feel free to post it on the chat, and we hope to answer them. So right now,
Yeah.
wala pa naman tayong questions, pero yeah, hopefully you can ask
Yeah.
us. Siguro while waiting for someone to ask, I do have questions na very common, Mitch. So maraming nagtatanong, what if may school sila? Kasi syempre estudyante pa, right? So tapos may training. Paano? Magsasabay ba siya? Or gaano ba katagal yung mga training? Let's say yung fundamentals, for example. So paano natin siya isasabay sa schoolwork?
Yeah. So it depends sa platform nga. So for example, you'll get to do Azure or Alibaba or the AWS or whatever cloud platform it is. Let's just start with Azure Fundamentals nga. Usually one day lang naman din yung training. So
Two
we just need
days.
to make sure 2 days. Okay, I took
Yeah.
it one day. So 2 days in training. So we just need to make sure that we discuss it with the student. What is the best date for them? Ayun, tapos weekend siya. So we are expecting that it will
Mhm.
be taken up on a weekend para hindi siya nagme-merge siya sa classes. As much as possible, as we mentioned, this is an extracurricular activity, kaya hindi siya magka-clash sa weekday usual classes that we have. But we also understand that sometimes students has Saturday classes also depending sa mga activities sa school. So this will be a discussion with the future scholar.
Yes.
Ayun.
Okay, then we have a question from Letitia. According to the website, only 10 scholarship grants lang po.
Yes. Yes, it's 10 scholars for now. So we just wanted to focus on those number of students that we would like to be part of this. Unfortunately, we would like to extend it as much as we can, but for now, we will just be focused for 10, and let's see how it evolves in the future,
Mm.
if we can manage to have more than that.
Yes. So for us, we really want to succeed in this. We want our scholars to succeed so we can commit na yung dedication to those numbers at the moment. And then, of course, we're working really hard, Mitch and I, to get more volunteers and get more partners so that we can grow our advocacy here. So, yep. Any other question? I just wanted to add, Mitch, about the schedule as well. So, yun nga, we will try to arrange it para nga weekend hindi mag-coincide sa class. We will figure that out. Pero for those sa mga longer training, like let's say yung mga 5-day training, we're trying to target na it's during vacation period. So, it's either, while you're still in
Yes.
summer vacation or sem break para you can do it during your free time. So obviously, you would have to dedicate your time on it once you become a scholar. Mhm.
Yeah.
Do we have other questions?
I think we can also highlight some other questions that we get nga. So ano ba yung ine-expect natin sa motivation letters daw na isa-submit nila? So
Mhm.
actually, personally, me, I am a product of a lot of scholarships. So, when I was in my college, up until I had my master's. So, yung na-realize ko na yung sa application ko for different scholarship, motivation letter is actually really, really important because it kind of tells the story of your aspirations. It tells the story on how you can relate to the organization that na pinag-a-applyan mo nga. Plus, at the same time, ano ba yung mga goals mo? I mean, I told already the aspiration, but I mean, ano ba yung mga goals mo, short term at saka long term? At saka yung values mo, 'di ba, as a person. So, I'm really a big fan of good motivation letters. So now I can tell you really that motivation letters really having a very very big impact sa mga applications natin. Yeah.
Thank you, Mitch.
So yeah.
So yan,
We
2 minutes lang naman siya, right? So hindi naman siya masyadong mahaba. Kaya
that's the video. That's
oh,
the
yes, that's a
video recording.
video, yes.
Yeah, that's the video recording also. You know, the world is super virtual now. So yeah, it will be really nice to get to know you in a video and then yeah, um and then meet you in an interview afterwards. So we have a question
Yeah.
from Mark. Good evening. Ang training po ba ay one-on-one or by group?
Yes.
So yeah, would you like to
Yeah, I can
answer that,
answer. Yeah, I
Mary?
can answer that. It will be by group. So we will schedule it as a group, pero virtual siya. So again, to follow up question is that um, a follow-up question is that, sino yung magti-train, right? Kami ba yung magti-train? Do we have our own training centers? No, we actually partnering with official training centers offering yung talagang official curriculum for the vendor-specific training. So we're partnering with the training center that does Azure Fundamentals, and also we're working out with the AWS and the other vendors. So it's going to be, yeah, the real training that also professionals are taking up. So, sila yung in charge lahat ng pinaka-training process. So, facilities nila, kung online yon system nila, yung resources, let's say you get some books, you get some access to the actual cloud interface or cloud technology platform, you get some credits. So, part yun lahat nung parang pinaka-training package na in-offer nila. So, we are just gonna use that. We are not running our own training. Just so you know. Yeah, we have another question. So someone asking that one of our applicants already passed the first round of application process. Congratulations! And that she got an email that she will be getting more information about the round. Present yourself through a video. So I guess we were talking about that already, Mitch. Like what do they need to prepare for this video?
Yeah, we're not giving much of the information kasi isi-send namin yung mga questions sa email nyo and we hope that you wouldn't tell it to anyone kasi that's only for you. Nothing to prepare actually. Just be yourself when you get the questions and then we just need to make we are making sure now we give you enough time to prepare your script and take a video of yourself. Wala naman. Ano lang, malinaw lang dapat din yung camera na gagamitin mo at saka no issues with your audio. As long as talagang clear lang talaga yung recording. Yun yung importante sa amin. Plus, of
Yes,
course, that's your chance. I mean, before the interview, right? We got to know you. So just that's your chance to show us yourself, your authentic self. So you don't need to
yeah.
be anyone else in that video. You just need to be yourself.
That's a very good point, Mitch.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what we really want to see. because you can tell, you can easily tell from videos, whether they're comfortable, about, their motivation talaga, right? So you will really shine in your video, and that's the most important thing. Mhm.
Yes. So we're just open for questions. Just put it in our YouTube or YouTube channel, and we'll get that questions answered also. Um, Ano ba yung next? Kunwari, pag matapos na sila sa ulap.org scholarship program. I
Mm.
think pwede natin ma-highlight yon kasi it's part of the third journey nga, 'di ba? So the organization, ulap.org, has an open arm if you wanted to volunteer as well and to become an inspiration nga sa future scholar. But what we can assure you is that um, you will build network within the community kasi nga marami tayong mga volunteers. Hopefully, mag-go out of the box na kayo kasi marami na kayong makakausap within the tech community and professionals na pwedeng mag-guide sa inyo. Kunwari, nalilito kayo kung ano yung next internship role or job, you know. But may mga career guidance. Tapos, we'll definitely can say na if you're like really new sa technology na to at saka may mga certification kayo, that will really definitely help. That will definitely help. Though Marilag was saying it's not required, but that will definitely help. There were like really a lot of studies na yung mga taong may certifications nga, they tend to have a higher possibility to get a job. They People or employers tend to be inclined and get to have an impression that itong taong to gusto laging matuto, you know, and that impression itself helps you sa future career mo. So, ayun, internship, future job, hopefully, and this will help you guys.
Yeah, and for
Oh, we
me,
have another
especially the
question.
access to mentors. Oh, yeah, we have another question. What would be the roles of volunteers, Mitch?
Yes, so we have volunteers na nagsa-sign up na sa ulap.org. It's different roles. You can help us in in our social media marketing if you wanted to write a lot of tech blogs and you know we also have that. You can also be our speakers, like the three guests that we have. If you are specialized in any technologies, pwede ka rin na maging organizer ng mga upcoming events namin. Um, Pwede ka rin tumulong when it comes to coordinating with our partners in our future events. Maraming possibilities. So just sign up in ulap.org volunteer form sa website namin. And then once you signed up, we're gonna give you more information on how you can further volunteer, and hopefully me and Marilag can meet you also in person. So we have group of volunteers now and we are growing and we're very happy about it.
Yeah, I think so. We're building an inclusive community, right? That's in our vision. So that also means that the volunteer group that we are putting up or starting has to be very inclusive. So you don't have to be a technical professional to be a volunteer. So you come with your own passion, with your skill, with the same vision and goal and values that Ulap has, and then we would gladly accept your your help and your time. Pero yun nga, lahat tayo merong unique capabilities, unique skills, and I'm pretty sure that we can make use of that in this, especially that we want to really reach out to more people, more underrepresented youth in our country. So, like, you can volunteer in your area, for example, yung presence nyo dun sa locals to promote this and to find more scholars, to find more resources. That would be very nice for us. It would be a great help.
And we're open for volunteers, whether you're a student or you are a professional, um, IT, non-IT, as long as you can see yourself, oh, ulap.org, they are reaching out with underrepresented youths when it comes to IT literacy. I can relate in that. So, parang gusto kong makatulong. Just reach out.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep the questions coming.
Yeah, we have a
So,
couple of minutes left, I think, for the live Q&A.
That's true. So we only have 1 minute actually left, Marilag. So I think we have
Oh,
to close it. But what we have last question maybe from Mark Shan. Why Ulap is the name of the org? I'm very interested to know. Okay, so yeah, Ulap Cloud. So we wanted to embed the Filipino word na cloud nga tapos yun yung technology na specialization ng organization na to. Would you and Marilag fly high? Would you like to
yeah.
add noon? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking, Fly High 2021. That's our parang motto. Si Mitch nga, she also has another handle with a Misha Ariba. Can I say that? Can I reveal that? But
Yeah.
Ariba, it's all coincidence, right? Yung mga, I think yung nakikita namin ni Mitch together is something, we're all up in the cloud. But it's also primarily because we work with cloud computing. In my career, I'm very, very hands-on sa cloud and also Mitch. So this is something that we can relate with, and we feel like this is it's going to be a big thing. It's actually already a big thing, and in the future it's going to be even bigger.
Yeah.
So we want to share this um, to everyone because the cloud spans the entire world. We have all the space up in the cloud. All right.
Yeah. We have last question about the movement nga ng deadline of applications in June. We will post the timeline soon. So yeah, just wait sa mga post namin sa social media and sa aming website for more information for that. Okay, I think that's it. Um, but if you have more questions, please go to www.ulap.org. And if you scroll down, there's a contact information, and then we will answer all your questions. And if you have clarifications, not just for the scholarship program, but all the things that we do. If you wanted to become a sponsor, an academic partner, volunteer, future scholar, contribute in different ways, please put your questions and send it in our website form.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, Saturday, and your weekend. Thank you. Ingat.
Thank you.
Salamat, Mitch.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maraming salamat, Marilag. Bye-bye.